Hello all, welcome to my channel. So today our agenda is discussion of the interview questions and their answers for Microsoft Fabric Data Engineer, and the round is L1 and the part 2 and the company is LTI Mindray, and the candidate whoever attended for the interview, she got the offer letter as well. So we have already discussed part 1, which is including 18 questions. If you want, you can go and watch in my YouTube channel. Now we will discuss from 19th question onwards here in this video. Guys, if you see, we have already discussed 18th question, which is related to some sort of a governance question, and we have answered this question as well in our part 1 video. Now coming to the next question, the question asked by the interviewer is, so what are the data sources you have handled so far? Now the candidate given answer is, I have handled SQL, on-premise SQL, ADLS Gen 2, Dynamics 365 data, SAP HANA data. Like that, the candidate has given few sources which she has worked on, and you have to give the answer like whatever the sources you have worked on. So after that, the next immediate question which interviewer asked is, have you connected to the Fabric via ADF pipeline? What are the things you have to configure? For example, if your data is in SAP HANA, since you have mentioned there is no direct connector for SAP HANA and you have used ADF in between, how can you configure the copy activity and what the things you will do in copy data activity? In the source part it will be clear, it's going to be a SAP HANA, but at the sync side, what are the things you are going to do? Since what are the sources you have worked on, while giving that answer, the candidate has given, I have also worked on SAP HANA, I have ingested data from SAP HANA to Fabric. That answer she has given, and while giving that answer she mentioned that since there is no direct connector from SAP HANA to Fabric, I have used ADF pipeline in between. So because of that, the interviewer asked immediate the continuation question is this one. So how we have to use this ADF pipeline in between SAP HANA and Fabric? So in copy data activity, what are the main things we have to mention or we have to take? So guys, you know, right, in ADF pipelines we usually take copy data activity, and after that we have to create linked services, and we have to create the data sets for the source and destination. So here also, after taking the copy data activity, we have to take source as SAP HANA, that is clear, and in the destination we have to take Fabric as our destination, that is nothing but Fabric Lakehouse. So the candidate has given the same answer. Since I have ingested the data to the Fabric Lakehouse, I have taken my destination as Fabric Lakehouse in the copy data sync part. So copy data sync side, I have taken Fabric Lakehouse. That answer she has given. And coming to the configuration, we have to enable service principal authentication to access our Fabric account from ADF pipeline. That is the prerequisite to use ADF pipeline in between from any source to the Fabric. That answer she has given. And the next question which is asked by the interviewer is, in your Fabric pipeline, have you done any notification part or Outlook or any mail notifications? She said yes, I have used notification part and I have configured that. So after successfully running of any pipeline or after failing any pipeline, we have to send notification to our Outlook. So I have used, there are two direct activities in the Fabric. One is Outlook and the second one is Teams activity. So I have used Outlook activity to send mail notifications in the Fabric data pipeline. She said that answer. Now the next question is, have you implemented any SCD type sort of mechanism in any of your projects having data in gold layer? You know SCD type 2, right? So that question asked by the interviewer. Now the answer given by the candidate is yes, I know SCD type 2. It's slowly changing dimensions type 2. I have implemented in one of my projects. So for example, if you have data in your gold layer and any new data is coming, means in SCD type 2, we have to maintain the historical data as well as newly arriving data. So in that case, I have marked the old records, whatever the expired records, the flag as the flag as inactive, and whatever the newly coming records, I have marked it as active records in such a way that I have implemented SCD Type 2 by using merge statement. And the next immediate question asked by the interviewer is the continuation question. So the last date you implemented SCD Type 2 in warehouse, is it through stored procedure? Because you mentioned it is in warehouse. So here the interviewer asked question very wisely. Here while giving the answer by the candidate mentioned that yes, I have implemented it in warehouse. So the next question interviewer asked is like very tactically, is since you have implemented in the warehouse, is it through PySpark notebook or any stored proc? It is the practical question actually to test the candidate really implemented or not. Why? Because in the Fabric, at the time while giving that interview, merge command was not working since Fabric is a new product, right? So merge command is not working at the time. So to implement this SCD type to stored procedure will not work. So we had to write PySpark code only. So the candidate has given the same answer. I have implemented via PySpark notebook. Why? Because in the stored procedure, the merge command was not supporting at the time while we are implementing. That same answer she has given, and the candidate and the interviewer was satisfied. So the next question which is asked by the interviewer is, now tell me one thing. Say for example, Fabric having different ETL tools like pipelines, data flows. You must know data flow, right? So because the other side of Power BI, if you work, you know data flow also, and PySpark notebook. So based on requirement or things, how can you decide what tool needs to be used in that particular requirement? Tell me that in which case nothing else, I will only go with the pipeline. In this case I have to do this one, this ETL with only data flow gen 2, and in this case I have to use notebook, like that. Can you explain? Like that he asked. So since the candidate said she also worked on Power BI also, she is a former Power BI developer as well. So he while asking the question he mentioned like this, because the other side Power BI you worked, you know data flow also, like that. So here in the Fabric, no guys, what will happen, we have this ETL tools like pipelines, data flows and notebooks. So data flow nothing but in the Power BI we have one tool, that is Power Query Editor. Same Power Query Editor in the Fabric, it came as a data flow. It's a data flow nothing but I can say online Power Query Editor. So that's why the interviewer asked that in which case we can use pipelines, and in which case we have to choose the data flows, and in which case we have to go for the notebooks. How you can decide that based on the which scenario, like that he asked. So what the candidate has given, yeah, I know pipelines, data flows and notebooks. Yes, I have worked on all three. So in most of the cases, like 80% of the cases, I'll go and select the pipeline only. I'll choose the pipeline only because it will give you a better performance and a good performance. And if you want to do some ETL operations while bringing the data on the fly, then I'll go for the data flow. And here notebook, I cannot, or I will not use notebook as the ingesting tool. To bring the data, to ingest the data from different sources, notebook is not a good option. Either I'll go with the pipeline or the data flow. So 80% of the cases I'll go with the pipeline, because if you want to apply any logical operations, or if you want to apply any conditions, or if you want to apply any incremental load, then we will go with the pipeline. And almost all the connectors are available in the pipeline. If you want to do any some transformations, and some custom connectors are there. For example, Zoho connector. If you take the Zoho connector and your data is in the Zoho analytics, then pipeline is not available for that particular connector. At that time you have to choose the data flow only. There is no other option. And if your data is in SharePoint, for example, then all three are available, like pipeline, data flow and notebook. So I'll go with the notebook because it will give you good performance. So it is mostly based on the data source you have to choose. So if you want to apply the incremental load and some logics and all the things, then you can choose the pipeline. Or if you want to apply the transformations as well, then you can go for the data flow. Notebook we can use for the BigQuery transformations, not to bring the data or not to ingest the data. So that's I can say. So that is what the answer which is given by the interviewer, which is given by the candidate. And now the next question is, okay, so now let's talk a little bit about DevOps thing. Say for example, I'm a typical multi-workspace customer. I mean, many customers have multiple workspaces like dev, test, and prod. Dev is for your playground and developing, test is for testing, and prod is your live data. Hope you must know it. So for example, I'm having a pipeline in dev and it is scheduled. Your trigger and pipeline are different things in ADF, but here in Fabric both in same, like trigger and pipeline, right? So if you deploy the pipeline to upper region, whether the schedule will also going to be deployed automatically? That question asked by the interviewer. So the candidate given answer is, I think no, because I already deployed many times from my dev to test and test to production with deployment pipelines and also via DevOps. So your schedule or your whatever you are scheduling jobs, it will not go to the upper regions. That answer given by the candidate. And the immediate question which is asked by the interviewer is, you are correct, but why? What is the reason? Why Microsoft is telling your schedule will not go? In 2024, in one of the sessions, they were telling the reason for that. I was not there in that session, but they were telling the reason. Why? Do you have any idea? Why the schedules will not go? So that question interviewer asked. So candidate was not sure about the answer actually. She know the schedules will not go, but she doesn't know why. So she has given answer is it's since it's a production environment or upper environment, that's why they have disabled the schedules. Maybe that is the reason, but I'm not sure. I think I missed that particular session from Microsoft. So that answer given by the candidate. So immediately the interviewer given answer is that is not the correct, but the correct answer which I heard from the Microsoft is, why the schedule will not go means in the upper regions the scheduled frequency is different from the development. When you compare the schedule frequency in development and in production, maybe in development we will schedule the jobs daily once or weekly ones, but in the production based on our data, based on our client requirement, we will schedule we will schedule maybe 5 times in a day at, for every 1 hour or every half an hour, right? So that's why your schedules will not go to your higher environments. That answer given by the interviewer. So the next question or the next words which is coming from the interviewer is, yes, I don't have any questions. If you have any questions or feedback, please go ahead. So the candidate said that the candidate asked the question is, okay, what type of role or what type of roles and responsibilities I can expect for this particular job or particular position? That question asked by the candidate. So the answer is like, yeah, we are looking for someone who are exactly like you, the one who have knowledge in all the areas, like in DevOps, in governance point of view, in technical point of view, in all the aspects. So someone who is very expert in the Fabric, who can handle all the things in the Fabric. We are looking for such type of the candidate. Exactly what you are doing in your current company, the same we are expecting. Like that, the interviewer given the answer. So the candidate immediately said that, okay, thank you, I have learned some new things from you as well. Thank you for sharing your knowledge as well. Like that, the candidate said, and politely she said thank you, and she wrapped up the call. So these are the questions asked by LTI Mindtree, and the interview happened in November 2025. This is level 1, and you can stay tuned for level 2 as well, and I'll post soon. Please stay tuned for my next video, which is level 2 interview round. Thank you guys. If you have any queries or you need any other topics, please post in the comments, or you can reach out to below email ID. Do like, share and subscribe to my channel, and do remember, with the right data, every challenge has a solution.